What's up, guys? It's Psychic Greg. I am here at my office here. Nobody is in right now, so I had some time to make a video out here in the lobby. Hope you guys can hear me. I wanted to share with you guys a message I received from my grandfather, completely out of the blue. So my psychic, Peggy, she lives in Ohio. She calls me yesterday probably around 5 o'clock. And it's not like her to call me 11 o'clock her time. She's never done that before. I'm like, why is she calling me? She leaves me a voicemail because I was on the other line with a client. And she leaves me a voicemail and she says, Greg, I got a message from your grandfather. Call me back if you can. I'm like, all right. So after I got done with my client, I called her and thinking, he was going to let me know he made it over and just share like little bits and pieces. But it was phenomenal. I called her and she said, Greg, I was taking a shower. Not that my grandpa was watching her take a shower, but she said, I was in the shower and I was receiving a message. It was from your grandfather, and he wanted me to tell you that the music over here in heaven is unlike any other music you would ever hear on earth. He said it's like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir times 1,000. And he was just talking her ear off about music. And it brought me to my knees. I just started bawling because my grandfather was huge on the choir. He loved to sing. He loved being in the choir. She knew nothing about that, okay? And so it made perfect sense why he said that. And also, before he had passed, for the last several days, he was still in his bed there. We had classical music playing for him all the time, which is what he absolutely loved. He loved symphony music and everything. I was just blown away. I'm still blown away. I'm a psychic and I connect people all the time, and I have thousands of stories just like this. But it's really cool to get a message outside of myself. I getting it from somebody else. It was just so specific, so amazing. And I was like, oh my God, I said, if you get any other message from him, can you please tell me if he will tell you anything he might remember about me being there, that because I didn't know if he was aware of everything all the time or not, but if he would just tell you anything that may have happened that maybe he remembers. And she went quiet for a second and she came back, and it's going to make me cry. He said, you were holding my hand for a really, really, really long time. And you looked at me and said, Grandpa, I got to run to the store. I'll be right back. And I got up and I walked away. And I turned around and I waved at him goodbye because his eyes were open. And he wanted me to know he saw that. And it absolutely happened. That absolutely 100% happened. I let go of his hand and I told him I was going to be right back because I was going to the store to buy him chapstick because his lips were so chapped. And that absolutely happened, and it absolutely made my night. It absolutely made my night. And I wanted to share it with you guys because, again, for like the 50,000th time, I will never shut up about this. Your loved ones on the other side can see you. They do talk to you. They do give you messages. And it's phenomenal. A lot of times people don't even know that they're trying to get through to you. They're blocked by grief, or they are expecting their loved one to come through a certain way. And they don't always come through the way we expect them to, but I had no idea I was going to get that phone call last night. And I'm telling you what, I'm just blown away. And I told Peggy, I said, okay, my mom has been telling me the last 2 nights she's been having these dreams of my grandpa building a house, and was telling her that he was moving and he was building his house, but the house was like the size of a bedroom, and she's had it twice in a row. And I told my mom, hey, that's his way of letting you know he made it over and he's just, getting settled in. what Peggy said, what she got from him, was that he's building a house on the other side for all of us. Right now, it's real small, and that's what my mom is seeing in these dreams. And that when we get there, it's going to be huge, and we're all going to be in it together. And I believe everything she said to me, because that is definitely my grandpa. That is 110% my grandpa. Everything she said is just accurate, just dead on. And I'm just telling you guys, it made my day. And I called my mom immediately afterwards, and I told her all about it. And she's blown away too, because my mom said there's no way she could have known that. I do get messages from my loved ones on the other side. And I do get messages still from other people's loved ones. And it's little bits and pieces of information. And but it's good to hear it from somebody else. When somebody else can pick up on it, it's like, again, yes, I'm a psychic, but it's like a musician. Of course, they write their own music and they will listen to their own music, but they also enjoy when they are able to hear somebody else's music or hear something from somebody else. It's just freaking phenomenal. But I've been hearing all kinds of really powerful stories about those on the other side and reincarnation stories. In fact, Wayne Dyer, I was listening to him speak in Maui a few weeks ago at the writer's workshop. I listened to him and Doreen Virtue both talk. And Wayne Dyer told us that he knows of a woman where she had a baby, and she loved her baby. Of course, any mother loving her baby. She would sing this lullaby to her little girl every night. It was a lullaby that she wrote specifically for her daughter. Well, unfortunately, her daughter had suddenly passed away. Her daughter had died when her daughter was about, I think, 13 months old, I think is what it was. 13 or 18 months old, somewhere around there. And, of course, the woman was crushed that she lost her baby girl. But she ended up having another child. And when the child was about 5 years old, they were in the house, and the girl started singing that lullaby that her mother sang to her child who had passed away. She had never sung another lullaby again after that first child passed. And here is her. I think her daughter was 5. The second girl that was singing the lullaby, she was either 4 or 5, one or the other, but was singing that lullaby. And the woman looked at her daughter and said, "How on earth do you know that? Where did you hear that?" She had never sang it to anybody, never sang it again after her daughter had died. And the little girl looked at her mom and said, "Mommy, before I died, you used to sing that to me every night." When I heard that, I just started bawling right there. The whole audience was just like amazed by that. But how can you explain that? You know, like, how could you deny that is real? You know, that isn't real. How could you deny any of that? It's phenomenal. There's story after story about kids coming back and telling their parents who they were in a past life, and the parents go and research, and everything that kid is saying, there was a woman with that name that died, had these many brothers and sisters, knew all of their names, knew what the nicknames were. Some of these parents are getting in contact with these families and bringing their children to these people's houses. And the kids are running up to the kids and just to the family members from the past lives, running up to them, hugging them, and saying things to them that only that previous person in that lifetime would have known. And the family members are agreeing that is definitely their brother or sister that is reincarnated into this child. just all kinds of phenomenal things, stories happening. And I'm going to share them whenever I hear. I don't care if I sound freaking nuts. I don't care who believes me. I don't care who doesn't believe me, because I know that there are so many people out there that know about this stuff and they're afraid to talk about it because they're afraid of being ridiculed. And I will tell you what, as a psychic medium, and all my other brothers and sisters who are psychics and psychic mediums all over the world, they will tell you, you do get laughed at, you do get ridiculed, you do get threatened, you do have people that try to silence you and discredit you and all that stuff. But the thing is we want to help people. We want to reach out to people. We want to help people heal. And we're not going to let other people's egos and other people's disbelief and other people's problems get in the way of what we were born to do. We will not shut up. We will tell the world what those on the other side are saying, what our angels are saying, what God is saying. You, as a skeptic, are sitting, if you are a skeptic, listening to everything that I'm saying, that's wonderful. I will tell you, you want to know who the biggest skeptics are? It's not the Christians. It's not the Muslims. It's not the scientists. It's psychics. Psychics are the biggest skeptics. We doubt ourselves all the time. We think of something, we're reading clients, or we get a message and we're like, oh, that's just our imagination, or oh no, we're just making that up. But then we end up opening our mouths and saying it, and that person's like, how the hell did you know that? And it was the very thing that our ego was trying to silence, was exactly what that person needed to hear. I wanted to share that with you guys. Those of you who are coming out about their psychic abilities, use your abilities. Don't let anything stop you. You do need to ask the person's permission first, though, to give them a message. Ask their permission first, because not everybody is ready or willing to hear for whatever journey, whatever part in their, wherever they're at in their journey, they may not be ready to hear it. But share it if they allow. And I am so thankful that Peggy called me the other night. And how I met Peggy again was I was at a psychic workshop with her. Her and I both went through the same workshop together, and I had helped her develop her abilities and help her be more self-confident. And now she reads me, because I kind of have a hard time reading for myself, but I can read for others, just not myself. But I go to her, and she's dead on. So like I said, even psychics have psychics, therapists have their own therapists, psychologists have their own psychiatrists. Everybody has somebody that they go to, which is really cool. But again, I wanted to share that with you guys. And thank you guys again for all the wonderful cards that have been sent to my family and I, the flowers, the wonderful comments you guys have put on my posts, the emails, the phone calls, text messages, everything. It is all greatly appreciated. And thank you for helping my family during this transition. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to share with you guys on this Saturday. I will talk to you guys soon. Aloha.